Mr. Richard S. Lim, to the President and CEO of Mapua University, Dr. Rinaldo B. Vea, to the university's administration, faculty, and staff, to my fellow graduates, to our family members, and to our friends here with us today, good afternoon. First of all, I would like to commend the administration of Mapua for achieving a university status for the institution. It is good to see your hard work paying off. I also thank the university for the opportunity that I had to devote my time and effort to learning, and for giving me a scholarship to be able to study for free. I have to admit that it was not easy to survive Mapua. Do you agree? Yes. Before I entered this institution, I did my research. I did it through the school website, through college guides, and even comment threads on the internet. I learned that it is quite difficult to finish one's studies in Mapua without incurring a failing grade at some point. We could not be complacent with our studies here, and we could not retain the attitudes that we probably had in high school, because that was a sure recipe for failure. We had to make significant adjustments in our ways and adapt to the demands and rigors of the requirements given to us by professors. Mapua, after all, is a university built on excellence, and this was to be expected. However, these experiences, these difficulties and challenges were essential for us to become accustomed to challenges in our careers ahead of us. Despite all of these, we were able to pull through, and proof of this is that we are graduating today. So from my observation and experience, there are 4 basic attributes that we exercise in Mapua, and these helped us to succeed academically. However, Mapua is a training ground for students, and the things that we learned here are essential for our careers, and they will allow us to succeed professionally as well. So here they are. First is intelligence. I'm talking about how smart we are. This is our ability to grasp concepts and to understand situations. I won't sugarcoat this. Some of us just have more of it than others. It's unavoidable. But intelligence alone will only get us so far. This brings us to the second point, which is diligence. This is our effort, our hard work, our industriousness. Diligence is inseparably connected to skill. Unlike intelligence, which is probably either inherent or developed very early in life, diligence can be acquired by any person. Hence, I want to emphasize that intelligence isn't everything. A highly diligent person, even with average intelligence, will be more likely to succeed than a lazy but highly intelligent person. For example, student A can be intelligent, but because of a lack of diligence and focus, he or she can still fail subjects. On the other hand, student B may not have the most superb intellectual capacity, but by compensating his or her knowledge with hard work and diligence, he or she will become more likely to succeed than student A. My point here is that hard work will trump intelligence alone, and that we are much more likely to become successful if we are diligent. Of course, with the first attribute, intelligence, combined with the second one, diligence, we can go a long way. So let's now go to the third one. This is something that I'm sure we haven't perfected yet. This is wisdom. I sometimes think that wisdom is intelligence applied. It's the application of intelligence. This one takes an immense amount of time to develop. Takes an immense amount of time and effort to inculcate within ourselves. And I'm sure that none of us graduates have fully developed this or are yet fully wise. In spite of this, I have occasionally witnessed students exercising wisdom by making sound decisions, and taking the corresponding actions to solve problems and overcome challenges. Thus, I know that we are all wise to some degree, and with constant practice and application, I know that we can all eventually achieve our full potential. King Solomon, when he was asked by God what he desired, he requested for wisdom. This shows us how significant this attribute is. And last, but most importantly, is having faith in God. We have to adhere to His plans for us. I mean no offense to those of us here who might not agree, but for those who do, I guarantee that if we will follow Him, we can never go wrong. So now, which do you think is the most important of the first three that I mentioned? Intelligence, diligence, or wisdom? I say that they're all important, and they ought to go hand in hand to ensure success. How great the discernment of our Almighty God in creating us, complete with our minds for intelligence, our bodies to exercise diligence, and wisdom to control them in totality. There was a caption on a shirt a few years ago I saw in Mapua. It says, "Nothing given, everything earned." Just like with the courses we took in Mapua, every reward has a prerequisite. For example, it is true that academic scholarships are available every term for free tuition. But to attain these, we have to comply with the requirements. I hope that we all remember this, because every success, every achievement, it's not a coincidence. This will only come when we apply our intelligence, diligently put in hard work, and adopt a wise approach to situations. It is now our challenge to soar to greater heights. There's a quote that goes this way: just like an experienced pilot, remember that although we can't control the breeze, we can always adjust our wings. We make the most of what we have when it comes our way. I thank all of my teachers who guided and instructed me. I'll never forget you, because you helped inspire me very early on to excel in this institution. I thank you, my friends, for the friendship and togetherness that we shared while we braved the journey through Mapua. I doubt that any of us would have survived alone. I lovingly thank my family, especially my mother and my sister, for being with me through everything. You are my support system and my most steadfast anchor, second only to the Almighty God, whom I thank for blessing us day by day. We are nothing without Him. He has always helped us and always will if we are willing to look to Him. The other day after our baccalaureate mass, we were instructed to change our status in our career links from students to alumni. Isn't that great? Congratulations to all of us. I wish all of us success in the endeavors which we will next embark. And I pray that we will not forget the lessons learned here in Mapua, not just the academics, but also the experiences that we had that helped us grow and develop. Thank you and good afternoon.